Hey, what the hell's going on, you guys? It is Two Player Negative AE, and welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry. Last we left off, we were going over kind of Rena's backstory, and kind of sad, and it's a sad backstory. But then Oyashiro-sama came to her, which is going to be very interesting. I'm happy. Let's go into this. Oyashiro-sama told me to go back to Hinamizawa. All of this was because of his curse. Oyashiro-sama brought a curse upon the Ryugu family because we broke his rule and abandoned Hinamizawa. After I figured that out, everything started to make sense to me. All the crazy things that happened after my mother was gone, the curse of Oyashiro-sama did all of that to us. It was Oyashiro-sama's voice that was telling us to come back to Hinamizawa. That's right. We should have stayed in Hinamizawa. Everything went crazy because we moved. We had to go back to Hinamizawa. I started feeling disoriented again. A dull pain ran through my head. It might be a scream from within telling me not to push myself too hard or to remember any further. The house where we used to live in Hinamizawa was still there. My grandma already passed away, and the house was the only property she left for us. I remember that I used to live in Hinamizawa, but all I remembered was that it was a village I used to live in right before I went to elementary school. I remembered an atmosphere of the village too, but that's all I remembered. I forgot the streets and even the names of close friends I used to play with. Neighbors knew that the son of the deceased woman had come back divorced. But they didn't know us and we didn't know them. So it was almost like we moved to a new place. However, as far as I was concerned, it was still my hometown that I'd come back to. At first, everything was inconvenient compared to life in Ibaraki, and it was hard for the both of us to adjust. But we renovated the old house and it was only me and my father. Life here seemed to make father forget his pain from the divorce. Mi-chan was very kind to me, and I started to get used to my new life too. I did everything around the house, and we gradually went back to a time when we used to live happily. Anybody can live a happy life. People sometimes say that some people are born to be unhappy, but I believe that's just an excuse for people who don't even want to try. I won't give in to fate. I'll never give up trying to recapture the happy times that I lost. I'm going to become happy to the point where I don't even feel the happiness anymore. I'm not going to cry anymore. I'll never cry again. I used up all my tears on that night my father hit me. The curse of Oyashiro-sama is over because we came back to Hinamizawa. I'm going to have a happy life from now on. All of a sudden, big raindrops hit the roof of the car, and I recovered my senses. It was still raining hard. It had already gotten dark outside. The shadows the table lamp created were very dark, and it looked as if there was nothing else around me. Yeah, isn't it dangerous to have the extension cord running electricity while it's raining? They turned off this light. Did everything in this world disappear? I turned it off. The light. Darkness swallowed me. But the cold air and the sound of rain didn't change a bit. That made me realize I was still in this world. The curse of Oyashiro-sama. Did the curse of Oyashiro-sama do those crazy things to my family? Or did I convince myself it did as an excuse for myself because I didn't want to feel guilty about the divorce? Sometimes I'm not sure. Since that time, Oyashiro-sama hasn't come to me. I sometimes feel like it was the delusion I created because I was mentally ill. But he did come at that time. I'm sure about that. Am I right, Oyashiro-sama? I was unhappy after I left Hinamizawa, but I came back and I'm happy now. But where am I supposed to go now that I'm unhappy in Hinamizawa? Where?
ダメだ、レナ。不幸になったとか考えちゃいけない。私は幸せになるんだから。 絶対に幸せになれるんだ。
Suddenly I felt that if this darkness swallowed me, I'd never be able to be happy again. I found the switch of the lamp and turned it back on. When I looked at the clock, it was already past 11 p.m. I had to go home. I wouldn't have time to prepare my lunch for tomorrow. At least I'd have to set the timer on the rice cooker. It didn't look like the rain was going to stop anytime soon. I looked out the window to see the rain, but could only see my reflection. I talked to that reflection in the window. I'm so glad that my father's happy. He'd been acting like he was dead for... What about your father, like, waiting for you? Wouldn't your father wait for you? The smile on his face is a good sign that he's regaining his former happy life. He became miserable because of me. That's why I don't mind doing things for him until he regains his smile and we become truly happy. When I stay here alone for a while, it gives him some time to be alone with her. Plus, I don't have to fake a smile. But then, my reflection in the window tells me, Rena, you're such a good girl. You're kind to everybody and love them equally. You can make anybody like you. But did you forget something? In this world, there are people you should be kind to, and enemies that you have to reject with all you've got. I thought you learned that lesson. No, don't listen to her. My reflection is always mean. She always says mean things and makes fun of my words. So we're dealing with mental illness. Wait, but no, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. It makes sense, but it does not make sense at the same time. There's some things that I need explained to me before that I can accept that this is a mental illness situation. Because I just can't accept it. I just can't do it. Because that explained to me how Shion is hearing things that other people are not hearing in the thing. That's going to be like a major plot point that I need explained. Shion, who, albeit went a little crazy at the end, was hearing thumping that also Tomitaki heard. That was not okay. That was like not the same. Like the Keiichi and what's their name did not hear it. So what? Why? What is going on there? We can't explain anything unless we can explain that as well. That needs to be explained in order for me to get the answer. You're the mean Rena in the mirror. Also, Soothsayer Rika. That's another mystery that we need to solve. Oh, seriously, I still got hungry. I almost forgot. Rena-san bought me a shortcake. Never had the shortcake from Angel More, but I bet it'll taste good. I have to give my thanks to Rena-san next time I see her. Rena-san speaks in a way that makes it very clear how she grew up, but I'm sure she's a good person. That's because she's so good to my father. I did everything I could to make my father smile, but I failed. On the other hand, Rena-san could put a big smile on his face so easily. I have to thank Rena-san. I have to thank her for cheering up my father. But I don't know why. I just don't like her perfume. Okay. Interesting stuff. Take off my jacket while I look at this new tips acquired shit. Okay, so we're not, so the mother can't call her Rena anymore. She's Rena. She doesn't like being called Rena because of her mother. Let's read the new tips. Let's see what's going on. Today I went to a swimming pool with my mom. Uncle Akito came with us too. Ahito? I don't like him because he's sometimes mean to me, but he's a very kind and funny old man. He told me to call him Daddy for that day because he was going to play with me at the pool like he was my daddy. Mom called him Daddy, so I did too. Uncle Akito looked very happy and gave me a lot of money. Mom looked very happy and it made me happy too. I want to play with him again. I hope my dad can come with us next time. Okay. Sure. I opened the window, placed my cushion nearby, and prepared to enjoy the weather. But she came over and disrupted my peaceful evening. She always ruins my time of solitude.
幸せそうね。そっか。今日はあんたの大好きな甘いものがたくさん食べられたものね。
Rika? Did you say Rika? This girl loves sweets more than anything. I like them too, but I can't eat like she does. It'd give me heartburn if I ate the amount she ate today. She seemed very happy, so I leave her alone for a while. Been making my favorite hot and salty food for the past few days, so she must be quite pleased today. It's a very fun day for me too. I just wanted to enjoy the memory of the excitement I felt today by sitting here quietly, enjoying the sunset. But when I looked up at the sky, I saw some thick clouds forming there. The wind was a bit cooler than usual. It might start raining soon.
大地震や大津波などの知らせとして、浅瀬に普段は絶対に見かけることができない深海の魚が現れることがある。
We saw a very
っていう話があるらしいわね。
rare fish that dwells in deep water in the shallows today. Just as the ancient stories of sea monsters say, people hate deep-sea animals and tend to interpret them as omens of a disaster. It didn't matter if they showed up alive or dead. I said something interesting just now. Even if they showed up alive or dead, it was an omen of disaster. Oh, it might start raining soon.
うるさいな。言われなくても分かってる。洗濯物を取り入れるわよ。
My Rika? What's going on? Clouds are getting darker. I normally like rain, but I didn't think I'd enjoy it today. What? I don't know. I don't know what that tip was trying to tell me. Other than Rika being a soothsayer. Maybe it was trying to remind me of that. Alright, let's continue. I feel like that needs to be explained.
Oh, 来た来た.
And sounds that are not sounds. Sounds that people are hearing that other people are not hearing, and things that people are seeing that other people are not seeing, needs to be addressed.
Ohayo, Rena.
If it's not addressed, then I cannot accept anything.
今日はケイチ君。
普段を棚にあげるわけじゃないが、俺が朝の待ち合わせでレナに勝つなんて、レナ、今
朝はちょっとお寝坊した。昨べ寝つかれなくって。
レナもか実は俺もなんだよ。昨日の大騒ぎの余韻が、ずっと布団に入っててもなかなか眠くならなくて、夜が長く感じたぜ。
Yesterday I had a lot of fun with my friends and went home still riding that high. I was too full to eat dinner. I kept talking with my parents about the great time I had over the past few days. I was so pumped that I couldn't go to sleep. Kinda sounds like I'm a little kid. But given that Rena seemed to be the same way, I felt better about it. No, I felt better isn't the right way of phrasing it. I just said I'm glad to know that we share the same feeling. Rena went treasure hunting after I left. I'm sure she found many adorable things, went home, and talked with her parents about how great the day was.
おお、ミオンが先に待ってるなんて、今日は雪が降るかもな。
人が珍しく先に待ってりゃ、そういうこと言うわけ？
それを言ったら、私より先に待ってたケイチ君も珍しい。雪が降るかもね。
人のこと言えないね。
It's going to be another happy day today. I had fun the day before yesterday. I had fun yesterday. I'm going to have fun today for sure. I'm happy and Mion is happy too. Of course, Rena and my other friends are equally happy. I'm not afraid to say it, and I wish these happy days would last forever.
なあミオン、今日は何をして遊ぼうな。
今日の部活？ 何がいいだろうね。レナは提案ある？
そうだね。昨日おとといと体を使うゲームが続いた。
そうだな。レナの言うのも一理あるぜ。部活は肉体勝負だけが全てじゃねえだろ。
もちろん心技体全ての要素において完璧であってこそ部活メンバーだから。じゃあ今日は何かテーブルゲームで遊ぶことにしよう。
Everybody was early this morning. We could enjoy our walk to school for once. After a while, we started talking about the upcoming festival. They told me that the festival was called Watanagashi and that it's the biggest event of the year in Hinamizawa.
そうだ
Of
そうだ。
course.
昨日沖宮の家に親類が集まっていろいろと話が出たんだけどさ、ケイちゃんの話題が出たんだよ。
俺？園崎家の重鎮が集まって一体何の相談だよ。
いやさ、昨日のエンジェルモートでのケイちゃんの活躍を見てた店長の吉郎おじさんがケイちゃんのことを相当気に入っちゃったみたいでさ、それでいろいろと話を聞いてみたら他の親類も意外にケイちゃんのことひなみ沢の名物男みたいな言われ。
名物男ってのはまた微妙な。その称号の9割方はミオンの罰ゲームに関係があるような気がするぞ。
それだけじゃな、ノリもいいし元気があって無鉄砲なところも今時の若い子にしては関心関心とみんなベタ褒めだったよ。
I felt a bit embarrassed to know that people I haven't met were speaking well of me.
でね、今後の渡流しのお祭りで何かで活躍してくれないかなって話が出てね。ケイちゃん目立つこととか好きでしょ？
おいおいおい、本人不在で勝手に話を進めるな。俺は孤独と静寂を愛するロンリーガイだぜ。
誰がロンリーガイだ。ローンボーイの間違いでしょ。
はあ、ローンってケイチくん。
The F is a lone boy.
お金に困ってるなら協力するよ。
He
はあ、
needs loans.
うわー、そこまで財布事情に困ってねえし、レナも真に受けてそんな目で見るな。
Dude, I'm gonna get a quick lesson about what a lone boy is because I have no idea. Being a lone boy? Nasty things. Ladies don't talk about things like that. Stripper? Like a stripper boy? I have no idea. We were still feeling the after effects of yesterday. Mion and I made a lot of noise teasing each other on the way to school. Rena watched us and laughed happily. Satoko and Rika-chan were already there when we arrived at school. They were also full of energy. Tomita-kun and Kumar-kun were too. From that, I can tell that they also had a good time yesterday. Everybody has been having a good time, really. In Hinamizawa, everybody is happy.
まだ引っ越してきて1年も経ったわけじゃないけどさ。
ん？どうしたの突然。
いやさ、ひなみ沢に引っ越してきて俺
どうしたのケイちゃん、急に臭いこと言い出して。
レナにはわかるよ。ひなみ沢に引っ越してきて全てが幸せになった気持ちよくわかる。この村にはね、きっと人を幸せにする魔法が。
レナは幸せか？
レナはひなみ沢に引っ越して。
そうだな。そいつは俺もだ。
ちょっと、なんかおじさんだけのけ者っぽくない？ブーブー。
Okay. The sky was clear and the thin clouds were pure white. The cry of the cicadas was telling me that summer would be coming earlier than usual. The Tanagashi is just around the corner. I'm sure we'll have great fun at the festival too. There will be more and more fun days to come, I'm sure of it. Summer is just around the corner. Do 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 do. It's gonna be the club game. Oh, I'm Rena this time. Here we go, dude. Is this what this is gonna be? It's gonna be me. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be me and Rena. Switch places. Last class of the day was finally over, meaning that it was time for club activities. I was sure it would be fun. I couldn't wait. But then Mi-chan received a call and told us something had come up. She had to go. So we didn't have a club meeting today. Tis. I was really looking forward to it. There was nothing I could do, but I could at least chat with Keiichi-kun on the way home. It'll be fun. Keiichi-kun sometimes says mean things, but he's very funny. When I chat with him, my depression goes away. Wait, what did I just say? Am I depressed? So much fun every day, and I'm as happy as I can be. What did I have to be depressed about? Well, it was obvious. Because of Rena-san, my father is happy now. Before he met her, he was like a lamp in broad daylight. Honestly, he was like the living dead. But after he met Rena-san, he started to smile like he used to when he was living with my mother. He enjoyed talking with her and started going out with her. You could probably say that they went on dates. Now he looks 20 years younger. Rena-san gets along with my father very well, and she's very kind to me too. There's actually no reason for me to hate her. But the bitter memories of my parents' divorce and the many regrets gradually eating away at my heart. Is it okay to accept that woman? Rena-san might be the same as Uncle Akito turns out to be. Is she the enemy who takes my happiness away with her very existence? Or with or without bad intentions? Am I going to sit around until everything collapses again? Should I fight the enemy before it's too late? Rena-san comes to my house a little too obviously. Since my father started letting her stay the night, many of her belongings have turned up in the house. My father and I don't smoke, but there's an ashtray in the living room. Futon in our guest room is hers now. In the bathroom there's a toothbrush and shampoo I'd never choose to buy. Started to feel awkward about those things. That's when I started noticing it at the front door when I came home from school. Her perfume. I asked my father once if he was thinking about getting married to Rena-san. He looked a little embarrassed, perplexed, and confused. He told me, not yet. He knew I was hurt by the divorce. That's probably why he couldn't admit that he wanted to remarry. That's why he said not yet. He'd consider it, but not while I was still living with him. That's what he meant, I guess. There's only one reason why I don't want him to get remarried to Rena-san. I feel offended that my sanctum, my family, is being invaded. I might be being selfish though. So we're hard splitting from Rena, like real fast. I know keeping my father all to myself means keeping him miserable like he was before he met Rena-san. He has a life to live too. It's his right to heal from the pain from the divorce and to live, to find his new love. He wouldn't have to go through that painful life if I prevented the divorce from happening in the first place. He has a right to a happy new life that lets him forget the pain he never deserved, and I don't have any right to stop him. In fact, I have an obligation to try and return his happiness to him. To pay for my sin, my inability to prevent his divorce. Pay for my sin, my inability to prevent his divorce. What should I do to make the both of us happy? It wouldn't be that difficult. All I'd need to do would be to give my silent approval of their relationship. My father tells me he won't get remarried while we live together. That means I should stop leaning on my family, be strong, and live on my own. Although that doesn't mean I can tell him not to go out with her until that day. Rena-san comes to our house to see him despite her busy schedule, and she even stays the night whenever her shifts permit. They're adults. I have no right to say anything against that. That's why. That's why I chose to give my silent approval to their relationship. and tried to see her as little as I could. I get along with Rena-san on the surface. I know my father would have a hard time keeping face if we didn't. But it's a very exhausting and painful thing to get along with a person I don't really like. Whenever Rena-san comes over, I spend as much time as possible outside, and then head home late. Michan's club activities are the most convenient things to do to kill time. There are some days when we don't have a club meeting. On those days, I while away my time at the garbage dump hunting for treasure alone. And that's how I started making my secret hideout. My father can do whatever he wants with Rena-san at home. I don't have to see them together, and I can spend my time peacefully at my hideout. I sometimes feel depressed about my life. I sometimes want to talk to somebody about it. But nothing will change even if I talk to somebody. Rena's interesting. She's very interesting. She parallels a lot of this. This is all I can really do. I'm looking at another dimension me, but if I was unreasonable, because I feel like this is unreasonable. You just don't like somebody, but I understand not wanting to go home because of that situation. I don't know. But I feel like where this is leading to is very unreasonable. I feel like this is leading to Rena killing Rena. I don't know. The most important thing for me should be to overcome the sadness of losing my family as fast as I could. Feeling like your family's been invaded because... I don't know. I understand it, but I don't at the same time. I have so much fun every day. I'm happy every day. Even on the way home, Keiichi-kun was talking about funny things that made me laugh. My feeling gloomy in spite of that was kind of rude. My father should be happy. I should be happy. I just feel sad because I still can't separate from my father. Compared to the unexpectedness of the divorce, Rena-san's invasion is a very slow process. I think Rena-san understands how I feel. She treats me very kindly, but she doesn't do more than that. I think she understands that I'd feel uncomfortable if she did. I respect Rika-chan because she's very strong even without her parents. Compared to the pain of losing both her parents unexpectedly, my problem is like nothing. Also, we need to explain why Rika has an evil side. She's a soothsayer, but she also tried to kill Shion in that last one. Why did that happen? I don't know. Odd. She also lost her parents and was forced to live a painful life under her uncle and aunt. That can't just be craziness. You don't just grow super... without parents, you don't just turn into a psychopath who's ready to kill people with a vial at any time. I don't know, I just feel like that's a weird thing to have a character do. Compared to the cruel treatment she had to go through, my relationship with Rena-san is a blessed one. I keep feeling anxious, but that's just because I'm still immature. And because I feel like I'm not ready to separate from my father. I have to be strong, like Rika-chan and Satoko-chan. I have to try my best to be happy. I'm going to live with all my might. In order to regain the peace of mind that I lost that day. My assumption that I'm not happy is just a mistake. I should appreciate the wonderful days I spend with my wonderful friends. Just by realizing that I'm happy, the world shines so brightly.
それでね、あんまりにも可愛いから、レナ、お持ち帰りって。
やれやれ。レナは毎日を楽しく過ごすことに関しては
レナは毎日が楽しいよ。こんなにも素敵な友人たちに囲まれて過ごす、こんなにも素晴らしい日々があって、どうして
だな。不幸なんかここにはないよ。いつまでも楽しくて不幸なことなんかとは、それがひなみ沢ってとこなんだからよ。
You should have stopped right there. But he just kept going.
レナが羨ましいよな。 その悩み知らずな能天気さが羨ましいぜ。
はあ、バカにされてるっぽい気がする。でも毎日が楽しいなら私は能天気でかな。
I don't have any worries. I feel like I do, but that's just because I'm immature. I still want my father's attention. Come on. Say the magical words. It'll cheer you up.
Huh?
Didn't make sense to say it now, but I was going to say it anyway because this is my magical phrase that always cheers me up.
お持ち帰り。
なんだよ突然。
It's like the wubba wubba dub dub of this universe.
でもそれでこそレナだぜ。
I guess not really, because that's like I want to kill myself or whatever. Like I'm in, what was it? It's like I'm in dire pain. Please help me or something like that. I remember that. But it's kind of like that because she's not very happy, but she says that anyway when she's unhappy to make herself happy, but she's in pain. That's right. This is me, Rena. I'm not Rena. Rena still wants her parents' attention. Rena is a goofy and carefree girl. She knows that every day is full of happiness and that she has the kind heart to appreciate it too. I should forget about icky things. I should live in a wonderful life free of anything icky. Icky starts with I. And that's why I got rid of the I and... What? What? Come on. Get the fuck out of here. That's not at all the reason. Icky starts with I, so that's why I got rid of the I in my name. Get the what the fuck? I'm going to recapture this happiness I lost and I left in Hinamizawa. When I was okay, I will overcome any pain and hardship. I can be happy because I got rid of the I. I can't stand that. Icky things. What the hell? What kind of word? You chose icky? Not bad things? Or, well, I mean, I guess the only letter in her name is I that she could remove. Maybe like... I guess, yeah. Out of all the letters in her name, awful. She could just be Rain. Awful things. Awful is a better word than icky. Icky's a dumb word. Incredible starts with I too. Yeah. So shut up. Get out of here. Icky starts with I, so I removed the I from my name. I was almost home, and when my house appeared, I needed something different there. There was a truck parked in front of my house. Ooh, okay, we're starting. Right away. Right away we're starting. There's nothing on the back of it, but I could tell it brought something here because I saw some cardboard boxes, blankets, and ropes on the ground. From the front of the house, I heard voices of two young men saying, "Well, we'll be going now." They passed by me as I walked towards the front door. They were wearing some kind of work uniforms. They looked like delivery people. My father was about to close the door when he noticed me.
何かあったの？
おかえり、レーナ。見てごらん。すごいぞ。
My father looked to be in a good mood. I didn't know why he was, but whenever he smiled like that, I just wanted to smile back at him. His eyes used to look like those of a dead fish no matter how hard I tried to smile at him. But these days he could put on a big smile just to surprise me. He has been literally coming back to life since a year ago when we moved back to Hinamizawa. Well, since he started dating Rena-san. When I see him smile like this, I'm happy, but at the same time I feel confused because I don't know whether I should thank Rena-san or not.
ほら、すごいだろ。
Took me to the living room. He's probably expecting me to go all oh and ah. So, whether there was something in the living room or not, I was ready to go oh and ah for him. Or ooh, I'm guessing.
何これ？どうしたのお父さん？
I tried to sound excited and surprised. He was standing behind me, probably smiling with satisfaction at hearing my excited voice. I, on the other hand, was desperately trying to understand what was going on. For a moment, I thought I was in someone else's house. You see, the living room had been completely redecorated. Furniture we had was all basically from the former house in Ibaraki. My parents bought most of the furniture when they got married, so it was old and a little dirty. Some of them still had crayon scribbles I drew when I was very little. But all of that was gone. Everything in the living room had turned a pastel color, looking very sophisticated, like the rooms you'd see in soap operas. The new carpet looked very tropical. The new curtains matched with the carpet. The new sofa looked very expensive. The living room in general looked like a resort hotel. The channel switcher of our old TV was broken and we'd have to use the pliers to change the channels, but it was gone too, and replaced by a new one with a big screen. The room's lights had also been replaced with nicer looking ones. The living room looked like a totally different world under the new fluorescent lights.
すごいね、お父さん。これはどうしたの？
心機一転さ。もう引っ越してきて1年にもなるんだから、お父さんもそろそろ気分を切り替えて、新しい生活に踏み出さないとなって思ったんだよ。
I suggested redecorating the house once in order to cheer him up because he was still in pain after the divorce. But he wasn't interested at that time. He didn't want to get rid of the old furniture he had chosen with my mother because he still couldn't get over her, even though she cruelly broke up with him. I wanted to suggest it again when the time was right. Never thought he'd do it on his own initiative.
そうだね。こんな綺麗なお部屋だと心も晴れ晴れする素敵なお部屋だと思うよ。
いいだろう。ほら、レーナ。お前、ユリースに憧れて、まだ組み立ててないけど、ちゃんとあるんだぞ。
はう、お父さんすごいすごいすごい。これ、私
Doesn't
が
that
も
mean
らってもい
amazing,
いのか
amazing?
な？
Or like cool, cool? Sugoi? Does it also mean thank you too? Or is that just like how they chose to
こら
translate
こら、それはみんなの共用のものだから、レーナだけ。
共用でもレナが占領しちゃうからダメ。
My father explained the details of his redecoration proudly. He told me that he only did the living room this time, but he's going to redecorate all of the rooms. He sure had become more active. There are some parts about the redecoration I didn't like, but I still thought it was great because it made him happy. I found the old furniture outside in the yard.
あれは捨てちゃうの？
まあ、この後で業者が引き取りに来てくれることになってる。
Getting rid of the old furniture means putting an end to my mother. I hated the furniture because it smelled like my mother, and I tried to break everything once. I understand why my father wants to take this opportunity to get rid of them. But for some reason, this new living room makes me feel like I no longer belonged here. My father didn't choose the new furniture. Rena-san probably did. Most likely, my father and Rena-san decided to redecorate the living room and went to a furniture store to buy everything. I tried to think positively. The reason my father didn't tell me about the redecoration was because he wanted to surprise me. No. My father never really considers things that deeply, so I suppose he didn't tell me because he didn't think he needed to tell me. I'm sure he didn't redecorate the living room to make me feel like I was no longer welcome. Don't be negative, Rena. My father didn't have any bad intentions. He doesn't want to get rid of me. He doesn't think I'm the reason he can't get remarried. And yet, why did I feel sad looking at all of the old furniture in the yard? Why did I feel like I didn't belong? I realized the reason right away. That reason was me. To him, wanting to have a fresh start by getting rid of the things that reminded him of my mother might be an indication of his unconscious desire to get rid of her daughter. My father doesn't really consider things deeply, so he might not be thinking that I'm the reason he can't get remarried. But he understands that he can't get remarried while we live together. By staying with him, I'm torturing my father. It was my fault that he had to get a divorce. So that's why I have to support him, to help him recapture his happiness. I couldn't just keep them all to myself. I'd have to start thinking about living on my own. I don't need to go to university. I think I should think about getting a job. But who would hire an uneducated girl like me? Even if somebody did hire me, I wouldn't be able to earn enough money to live on my own. Maybe I should think about working at a hostess club, like Rena-san does. People only choose the jobs they can. A girl like me doesn't have a lot of choices. Not a lot of companies would hire me or pay me the amount of money I'd need to live on my own. But, come to think of it, where's the place I belong? Whenever I end up feeling like this, I miss my secret hideout in the trash piles. I love to get under my blanket and feel the warmth on a cold night. The hideout gets hot and humid during the day and very cold at night. It's not a comfortable place to spend time in. But it might be the place where I can relax the most. The more I can be at my house. More than I can be at my house. No. I shouldn't think like this. I shouldn't think that my house is being invaded by Rena-san. I should thank her for making my father happy. Rena-san isn't trying to kick me out of the house. She's trying to get along with me. I'm not opening my heart to her. I'm the bad one. I'm the bad one. And I'm blessed. Blessed. Satoshi-kun and his aunt didn't get along at all, and she abused him for a long time. Compared to him, my situation is a lot easier. Shoko-chan and Rika-chan lost their parents and they live together now. Been through very hard times. On the other hand, I still live with my father. I should feel blessed. I shouldn't think that I'm unhappy just because of these things. Dude, Rena's like, I feel like Rena mirrors a lot of people. Unless it's just like, I don't know. She just has like that, she has like a normal attitude, but I feel like this is like that attitude if you went the opposite direction, right? Like, if instead of just like wallowing in your sadness like people do, like this is how you wallow in sadness. But like, if you actually decided to do all the things that you were thinking in your head while you were wallowing in the sadness, I feel like that's what Rena is. I also feel like there's some more supernatural shit than this. Like they're playing this off as like it's this and this. But like I can't help but think about all the weird shit that's been happening and that there's no explanation for. I don't know. I nodded at him with a big smile and let him keep at it.
そうだ、いけない。レイナ、すまないんだが、ちょっとお使いを頼めないか?
Because I feel like Reina's not just me, but I feel like Reina's a lot of people. I feel like everybody goes through their problems and stuff. And everybody kind of wallows in sadness for a moment and like wonders like why, like you should feel blessed to live your life. But like at the same time, you still feel sad about certain things that maybe you shouldn't, or other people have it harder than you, and you like compare yourself to that. But it's like this specific
お父さんな、ジャケットを2着ほど洋服屋さんに取り寄せさせてるんだ。
that could definitely breed like craziness. Like I felt myself going crazy a lot of the times during my life. But like I never went down that road
それ
because
が
I
な、
knew that people
今
cared
日
about
届く
me.
らしいんだ。
I knew that there was like
ちょっ
at
とお
least
父さん
someone
は
out there that
回収
cared
業
about
者
me.
さんを手伝わなきゃならないから、レーナが代わりに取ってきてくれないか?
いいよ。お店を教えて。どんなジャケットを取り寄せたんだろう。
You're going through some rough shit. I hope you get through it. There's some rough times in life that suck. That really do.
楽しみ。
Rena's story makes me emotional, dude. It makes me really sentimental. I just, you know, I hope all y'all are doing well out there, okay? Be good. Fucking, we all go through it. Just ask for help. Ask for help if you need it. The only thing I can say. Even if they're not gonna listen, they're not gonna be. I don't know. I'm sentimental now. I could go on like 80 sprees about how I care about you, but you know. I'd rather go to the store. I'm just a guy on the internet. I got the receipt, asked him where the store is, changed my clothes. Okay, so we're getting jackets. I was reading still. I was reading while I was being sentimental. I started pedaling my bicycle and looked at the old furniture in the yard for the last time. They used to be the object of my hatred, but for some reason, they now made me feel sentimental. Hey, there's that word again. It is because I still regret the loss of my mother, even though I hate her. I couldn't let poisonous emotions take over my heart. I understood that in my mind, but I just couldn't get rid of that feeling. The furniture wasn't the only stuff that was kicked out of the house. There was also a lot of junk that I brought from the landfill. My father was probably going to throw that away too. He doesn't like the junk I collect. He'll probably let the delivery company take it all together with the old furniture. Just like an animal that rubs its scent on its home in order to feel secure. I collected all the junk in the house just to make sure that I could stay here. No, that's not it. I wanted to bring it to my house because they were abandoned by their former owners, and they needed a place to live. Very sentimental halfway point. Although I have a feeling Rena's gonna not take this very well. This whole Rena-san being the case. So I was correct, kinda. Didn't I say, like, is that my mother? Like, what's going on? I had no idea who she was. Dude, did I, like, predict that? Like, hardcore, hard body? I guess it was pretty easy to predict, because it's the only new character, and she has a character art sprite. So I don't know. The store where my father ordered the jackets from is a fancy boutique. It's hard to believe that my father would shop at a store like this on his own. I could tell right away that Rena-san took him here. I'd handed over his receipt to the cashier. A short time later, the store manager came out wearing a perplexed look.
リュウグ様、大変申し訳。実は入荷のトラックが高速で事故中、おそらくはもうじき到着すると思うのですが。
He said that the driver called a while ago, told him he just got off the highway, that he would be here in about an hour. I didn't need to know all the details, but he explained them to me anyway. I asked him if I should come back tomorrow. He insisted that I should wait because the truck was coming shortly, and he urged me to take a seat on their sofa. But I didn't really feel comfortable waiting there, so I told him I'd be back soon and left the store. I wondered if there were any fast food restaurants nearby. Might have to go all the way back if I found to the station. I looked around and found a coffee house. The glass on the door was black, so I couldn't see inside. But there was a poster saying the price for a cup of tea is lower than normal for women on weekdays. I'd just be getting a cup of tea to kill some time. It should be okay. Rena-san's in there, guaranteed. But still, I hesitated to go inside before opening the door. The first impression of the coffee house was the smell of cigarettes. It's normal for a coffee house to be filled with cigarette smoke. It's like a requirement. But Rena still regretted her decision. While she was thinking about leaving, the proprietor spoke to her briskly and showed her a table. Rena gave up on the idea of leaving and sat down. The atmosphere in the shop was a clean, normal coffee house where you would go to simply enjoy coffee and cigarettes. It was more like a place where vulgar people would hang around. This is an interesting part of the story because this is the first time... This story is like the first time a narrator pops in and it's like, hey, Rena sat down at the... I feel like I could be a pretty good narrator. Rena didn't feel comfortable at all, but what bothered her the most was the laughter of a man and woman sitting together in the very back of the shop. Her table was behind a planter, so depending on how one looked at it, one could say that she was in the spot most protected from their laughter. But Rena looked as though she wanted to leave as soon as she finished her tea. I feel like I could be a pretty good announcer. Announcer jobs, where you at? I'll voice act an announcer. Let's go. The bell hanging from the entrance door, Hold on. The bell hanging from the entrance door rang, letting her know that a customer just came in. It was a little surprising for her that a coffee shop like this could draw in so many customers. Rena peeked at the newcomers from behind the planter. There were two of them. They looked like vulgar men, the kind of people you didn't want to get involved with the instant you saw them. The proprietor tried to show them to a table, but they ignored him and walked towards the back. They walked up to the couple who had been laughing loudly and greeted them with a bow.
Oh,
Tepe.
やっと来よったんか。まあ座れや。
Tepe, huh? The couple stopped laughing, and the man told the newcomers to sit down in a threatening tone of voice. As instructed, the two of them took the seat.
で、どういうこったん？
すんまへん。なんとかその。
ごたくはええねポケ。とっととうなるもんさらさんかい。
The two of them looked at each other before they each took an envelope out of their pockets and put it on the table. The man roughly grabbed the two envelopes and tore one of them open. Inside, there were many wrinkled 10,000 yen bills, bound into a bundle with a rubber band. He opened the other one to make sure it also had cash in it and threw it to the woman.
おい、
ちょっと私に命令しないでくれる？
No!
もともと私の金なんだから。
ちゃがましい。黙って数えんなええんねん。
Man yelled at the woman. She looked at them, looking annoyed, and started counting the cash expertly. The two newcomers hung their heads while she counted. Dude, is it starting like this? Like this? Like this? Lighting a cigarette, the man waited for her to finish counting.
はいよ。全部あるわよ。
The woman said that after flicking through the last bill. The newcomers looked relieved. The man, however, didn't look satisfied as he stared at the bundle with the bundle of bills the woman was holding.
いつこ、それいくらあった？
全部って
全部っていくらかっちゅって聞いと。
だから私が貸した金。
バケ。利子はついとるか聞いとるんねん。
The man and Ritsuko yelled at each other. Even though they were making all the noise, the other customers act like they didn't hear anything.
おい兄さん、200万ビッタンコ、どういうこっちゃ？
The two of them were expecting to find some excuses to make. It seemed like this behavior had touched the man's nerves as he started looking furious.
おら！黙っとったらわからんがな。
Tepe has a larger part in the story? I thought Tepe was a throwaway character. This man has a larger part in this grand scheme of things. He hit the table hard, dropped a glass on the floor. The noise thickened the tension in the atmosphere.
すんまへん。
すまんで済んだら、ごしとら出るとこ出ても一個に構わんでんの。
それはどうかご勘弁ください。
Newcomers also must have been in an extremely vulnerable position. They bowed so deeply that their foreheads almost touched the table.
それを勘弁したるって今日呼んだんねん。それがどういうけじめのつけ方な。
すんまへん。エロすんまへん。
While you could pity them, the newcomers looked as vulgar as the man threatening them, making it hard to decide whether you should feel sorry for them or not. After a while, Ritsuko opened her mouth as if to offer them help.
てっちゃん、すごんじゃかわいそうでごめんね。うちの人、銭絡むとすぐとさかに来ちゃう人で。
銭絡むと余計だ。お前にあやつけよったんから本気になっとんよ、おら。
もうバカなこと言っても。
The man pulled Ritsuko roughly into his arms and frantically kissed her lips without caring about the other customers. Their kiss wasn't as lovely as the ones normal couples would share. It looked obscene instead. He let her lips go to take a breath, kissed them again, and repeated that for a while. After a while, he finally got bored of kissing her and let her
う
go.
ちの人は私のことになるとすぐ困ったもんなのよ。
Interesting.
そうよ。こいつと俺はいわば一心同体ね。この女に泥塗り腐るやつは
Okay,
俺に
I'm
塗っ
on
たと同
board.
じやんな。
Let's get to killing.
血祭りじゃすまんね。
I'm on board, Rena. Honestly, I'm on board.
いつぞやかの、ほら、あいつ。
I wasn't on board before when Rena was like, maybe, there's enemies that you should be mean to or that you should fight. I was like, well, let's give Rena a shot. She's like a new girl, whatever. Now I'm ready. Oh, I'm so ready. Let's go. Let's go crazy, Rena.
バカが表出るとか抜かしょんから野郎空手やるとか抜かしおるからどの程度か思うた拍子抜けしたからズボン脱がせてそいつでこの表の歩道を磨かせてやったわお役所に表彰してもらいたいんわ
やだそんなことあんたって時々よ
They started laughing loudly like they were doing earlier. The laughter imitated their companion.
ねえあんたたちてっちゃん今日はね普段だったら銭が足りんって騒ぎ出して今頃あんたたちすっぱだかにされて
すまへんすまへん
Teppei looks a lot like better. That's Teppei Hyojo, right? Like he looks a lot like fit. He looks pretty fit. I thought he was like a fat old. I always imagined like a fat old man. Keiichi beat the fuck out of this guy. Cool. I feel like this guy could take Keiichi like in a second, but I guess in demon form, Keiichi. I don't know.
そこいらへん評価したってもええんで
それでねてっちゃんの利子今日だから5本で済むけどすぐに売買ゲームにそうしたらあんたたちすぐに逆立ちしても払えなくてね私てっちゃん悪いけどあんた
しょうがねえな
Left the table with a grin and headed for the bathroom. He was far too amenable to that request, as if they'd planned for him to leave the table at that moment. Ritsuko made sure he was in the bathroom and then took some papers out of her bag and spread them on the table.
あんなヤクザに絡まれて一生を不意にしたくないでしょだからねてっちゃんの利子はそうすればあんたたちはとりあえずあいつとは
そりゃそうですでも50万なんてこれ以上もう払えない
まあそうよね200万だって相当さらに50万も工面できるあてなんてないでしょう
Must have done their very best to collect the money they brought today. It must be impossible for them to collect even a dime from anybody now. They hung their heads and told her that.
でねほら気をつ
Looked at the paper and muttered under their
担
breath.
保も連帯もいらないんでちょいとりこれなら即50万積んでくれるわよそれにさこの利率でもてっちゃんの利率よりははるかにマシだと思うんだけどどう思うかしこれにサインしたのを見せれば彼も男気を感じて勘弁してくれると思うわね
Show them the signature. I'm sure he'll let you out.
ああ万年筆使うなら置いとくわよ
Ritsuko didn't force them to do anything. She just looked out the window and smoked her cigarette. After a while, the man returned from the bathroom.
おう話はついだが
They looked at him, steeled themselves, and took the pen.
てっちゃんの利子借金で一括返済するって
おうおう男は背負うもんがなくちゃあかんね
They must have planned this from the very beginning. The man and Ritsuko got what they wanted, and they grinned at each other. There were many things to fill out on the documents, and it was taking them a very long time. The man and Ritsuko, already knowing that, started talking amongst themselves.
リツコお前のひなみ沢の旦那の調子はどうなんね
ん旦那なんてよしてよ
どうなんよだいぶ銭持っとんと聞かされてるどのぐらい絞れそうなんよ
そうそうそれがさ別れた奥さんがだいぶ慰謝料をくれたらしいってでもねそれが本当にすっげえあるらしいのよ、ね、
Oh, dude, I'd start murdering people too.
かなりってどのぐらいね
Oh, dude, I'd go crazy too.
5000万くらい持ってるわよ
forget the other stuff about maybe Rena maybe taking the wrong path, and maybe that's what's going on. Like, as if I thought it was going to be so simple. No, just start murdering people. I'm 100% on board.
なんでそれ
Yeah.
ねどの辺まで
Just
行けそうなん
fucking,
ね
you know, in a corner, alleyway. Oh, she died. I'm sorry.
私にだいぶお熱みたいだからね。
Especially 1983. Come on.
だって私が言えば何でも買うのよ。あんたみたいなドケチとは私も本気になって。
抜かせボケ俺以上の男が他にいるか
もうこんなところ
でそのひなみ
あんたを出しに手切れ金がいるって方向で持ってく
なんぼふっかけるつもりね
そりゃ
つっけずけ恐ろしい女じゃんエキストラがいるときは呼んでな俺も大暴れしちゃるんです
みません
あじゃそれ持ってドン行こうか
Oh, just start. Murder. It's an hour?
Let's
We're
go.
at an hour?
頼むね
What? Hold on. We need to stop. Another person was just about to enter and they knew they ran into each other. Man probably wouldn't make way for the other person considering his personality. But when he noticed who that person was, he stepped aside. Person looked as vulgar. Oh my goodness, dude, we gotta end it right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Also subscribe if you haven't done so already. Lots of visual novel roguelike content. Sorry it's an hour today. I never mean to go as long as an hour. I usually try to end at like 45 to 50 minutes. Anyway, a lot of stuff happened. I'm gonna tell you right now, Rena, I want you to go crazy. Like, I want you. I'd be a terrible friend in this situation, because I'd just be like, go murder him. Just murder everybody. At this point, like, what do you got to lose? You don't have much to lose. There's not much... There's not much going on that you have to lose. I'd be a terrible friend, because in that situation, I'd just be like, I don't know, man. I don't know, girl. Like, what do you say to a friend in that situation? Like, I just found out that this and this happened. It's like I had to break to my dad. You know, I've already dealt with all this shit, you know. Just fucking tell your dad. Actually, I don't even know if I would do that. No, I would. I would, because you have to tarnish her reputation a little bit. But no, I wouldn't, because she's part of like a crime boss. So it might just be easier to murder her. I don't know. This fictional situation is interesting. I think it would be really interesting to see Rena just like fucking go off. Like I really want to be, maybe it's just me being crazy, but I really want to be like playing a serial killer. Like, I feel like that would be like the coolest. I love crazy people in games and like movies and stuff, because like it's such an interesting like way to go down. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what's going on. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next episode, whenever that may be, and peace out, you guys.